And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Kevin Turner along with head coach Bruce Rollinson. Delighted to have you back. And coach, it's got to be great. 2 weeks in a row, impressive wins over J. Sarah. Then last week, you pipe Orange Lutheran back at the Bowl. You guys are 2-0, rolling into Servite Week.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? As I reflect back, it seemed like the longest preseason in the history of high school football. And I commend the kids. You know, what they went through, we've talked about on previous podcasts, and the uncertainty. And everybody was an expert. You're going to play in January. You're going to play in February. Finally, we got the go signal. And where I saw it culminate was game day J. Sarah. I can't describe the excitement, the energy. We blew the top off it at the Grotto, our normal pregame before we load the buses, dead silence on the buses, and they couldn't wait to get into pregame. And it's just, I wish I had a better way of just, it was so much fun. It was so exhilarating. And you know what I found, Kevin? Yeah, there's COVID stuff, and we couldn't be inside a locker room. They adjusted to that. You know, we were wearing masks up until the time they put their helmets. We never took our masks off, which was fine. But what I learned was once you got on the sidelines and strapped the headphones in, I didn't know whether it was March or October or August or January. It was game time. And they teed it up, you know, against J. Sarah. And then, you know, we got to spin it back around this last week and be at the Bowl. Kind of an eerie feeling, though. We were the opposing team. We were on the opposite sidelines. And the whole view at first was weird, you know, looking at the press box, you know, and trying to kind of come to grips. And I know that sounds weird maybe to you folks out there today, but it was just different. But then again, boom, when it teed up, I thought we were less emotional, less energetic, and I think that cost us early in the game. You know, there's no way we should give up 7 points, but learning experience, and then we got the ship righted, and then we started playing Monarch football, and like you say, there's no better week than the Servite week, so I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, the alums are all geeked up about it. You know, the players don't quite, I think, understand it. At least the freshmen and the sophomores, juniors and seniors know what it's all about,
yeah.
But there's a lot of history with this Servite Mater Day. Some great games, some great teams.
Yeah.
I was with some Servite folks the last weekend, and we were already, you know, giving each other a little bit of business about, you know, who's going to win the game. And you know, I've got a round of golf on it, Coach. So let's go ahead and get.
I got you covered. I got you covered.
What a great reward for your seniors, though, to come back. The resiliency these young men had an opportunity to opt out. We've got a couple young men that we're going to have on a little bit later on in our podcast. We'll have Marceese, the great running back, and the All-American Rajon Davis going to USC. He'll be joining us. But how cool is it for these young men to come back and get rewarded? You know, we talked about it in a previous podcast, and everything we're doing is dedicated to them. The Servite Week is always dedicated to the seniors, but I told them early on that this is at Family Mass a couple of Sundays ago. I told all the parents, and we had an incredible attendance. Each player brings his parents, and I told them this whole thing is dedicated to those 21 men. You know, as you say, you'll speak to 2 of them today, and they can probably share what it means. I can tell you, Kevin, they don't look at it as a 5-game season. They look at it as, I get to play the great game of football. Won, you know, 5 last times wearing my stripes. And I go back to what I've said numerous times in the press. You know,
You can ask Rajon. He could have gone to his trainers outside of Modern Day and just said, Coach, I got to get ready. I want to play as a freshman at USC. Marceese could say, I've got to mentally and physically prepare for the Air Force Academy. Not one senior said anything except, Coach, I want to finish it up with my brothers, and I want to wear the stripes a final X number of times. And it still is an emotion that I thought I'd pretty much run the gamut of emotions and the ups and downs as the head football coach at Modern Day. But this whole COVID thing has brought on all kinds of different emotions. And that was an emotion. I mean, when I'm down, I just think about those 21 guys. It's a tribute to them. They could have taken the easy way out. They could have started, getting ready for graduation. And instead, I mean, it was cold out there some night, ridiculously cold, and the wind's blowing, and the 21 guys, and then the rest of the kids, they're just grinding, getting ready for the season.
Yeah. We're playing football on Good Friday.
Oh.
No meat in the pregame meal. I mean, who would have thought that? I mean, I was thinking about it driving over. I'm going, wow, usually Modern Day is ramping up and we're thinking about Thanksgiving, but here we are, we're going to play Easter weekend.
Yeah. To all the Catholic families, this has been approved by the Diocese of Orange. It has been approved by the Servite Provincial. It has been approved by Modern Day High School administration and Servite's administration. But Kevin, that's when your calendar's out of whack. Usually you're amping up. The majority of the student body's amping up to have a good Holy Thursday and Good Friday, and then probably an Easter celebration, and perhaps some kind of getting away, getting out of town next week. The one that gets me, which you'll appreciate, is Easter Sunday. Will be in the bunker. My wife, Lori, God bless her, she pretty much expected that, but we've had very few Sundays in 32 years. But the look on some of my coaches' faces that have younger kids, and like I told them, I said, it's every man for himself. You know what work needs to be done. But because we're on a one-day turnaround next week, because we got to spin it back up on Friday night against Santa Margarita. So, I told him, I said, I'll bring a couple of chocolate bunnies.
On an Easter egg hunt.
And hopefully we have smiles on our face because we're getting into a pretty big-time contest Saturday night.
For sure. All right, just a reminder, speaking of commitment and discipline and giving back, we want to thank the Miliari Group, Total Quality Lending, Chris Poliska, Carlo Valdez, thank you so much for all your support throughout this pandemic and the Coach's Corner podcast. We also want to welcome in a new sponsor who's also sponsoring our highlight reel on the Modern Day website. That's Repower of Orange, commercial and residential solar. Check them out online, Repower in Orange. Want to thank them for their sponsorship. And of course, Blue Roost Vodka, and also Hook by Crook, the great Cabernet Sauvignon. You can find that in Costco and the Blue Roost. Bought some last week as a client gift, went over big time, and you can pick that up at your nearby Bevamo. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to come back with Marceese Yetz, the outstanding running back. He wears number 5, number 1 in your heart, on his way to the Air Force Academy. We'll take a timeout and come back with Marceese Yetz right after this break. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Kevin Turner. We're joined by the senior running back, number 5, Marceese Yetz, leading rusher here at Modern Day. 22 carries in your first 2 weeks, 163 yards, a touchdown, leading the Monarchs in all-purpose yards. He's got a couple of receptions, leading kickoff returner, 227 yards. On your way to the Air Force Academy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what's it like, putting those 3 stripes on, that striping ceremony as a senior? Let's rewind the tape a little bit. Tell the folks at home and watching what that striping ceremony was like for the seniors.
For the seniors, the striping ceremony is like a big part. Like, it's just getting ready for the season. So the striping ceremony means that once you put the stripes on, it's time to go. And what those stripes mean to me is that you could count, that you can hold yourself accountable, but also the next man next to you accountable as well.
So when you walked into the stadium, you know, when you were spatting up the shoes and getting ready and getting your war paint on and you slip that jersey on, you're doing your warm-ups out there. What was that feeling like, knowing that you guys had come full circle and you'd waited a year and a half and you were going to actually go live and get it on against Jay Serra?
Yeah, well, it felt good to finally go, to know that we're about to go against someone else other than my actual teammates, so we get to play against someone else because we compete every day in practice. So just knowing that we get to go out there and play someone else and compete to actually win, it just feels good. And it's just, when we get out there, it's like everybody's hyped up and ready to go.
So it's been so long. They call your number, and what does it look like the first few times you carried? Did it seem like it was slowing down, or was it fast and you were just couldn't wait to get out of the gates? What was that? I mean, could you feel that quick twitch just quivering inside like you were a horse ready to jump out of the starting gate? What was that internal feeling about?
It was like it's just an urge to go. But we worked on it in practice, worked on slowing down, not pushing too far where we missed the hole. So I just stay patient and hit it where I fit.
And nobody jumped off sides on that first offensive snap?
Nah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you get into the end zone. You know, what's that feeling feel like for you when you score your first touchdown here in 2021?
Scoring my first touchdown in 2021, it feels like it's been forever since I've been in the end zone. I mean, I've been in the end zone in practice, but it's nothing like in the real game. And we actually putting up points on the board, so yeah, it feels good.
So you've got a new teammate in the backfield, and Raesjon Brown. The guy's just got freakish talent. But how does that help you become a better running back and a football player and a teammate?
Well, that helps me become a better running back because we compete every day. I bust a big run, he congratulate me. He busts a big run, I congratulate him. He do something wrong, I help him out.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So it's just we pretty much help each other out, give each other advice, pretty much.
It almost seems like the best of both worlds because you've got a complimentary superstar in the backfield. Obviously, your numbers speak for themselves. You're in that same category.
Sure.
And it's almost as if, you know, you get a break, you get to see some things that, you know, you can step back and you can see the defensive fronts and talk to the coach, take a breather and not have all the wear and tear. I know it's a short season, but you've already got 22 rushes in the first two weeks. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to get 22 rushes. That's just like, it's a big thing. Like every time I take every chance I get to get the ball, I'm thinking we can get to the end zone every time. So,
it's a good thought to have.
Yeah.
Share with us what it's like being in the huddle. You go from Bryce Young, the Gatorade Player of the Year, the #1 all-purpose quarterback at Alabama, and all of a sudden you look across the way and you got a 14-year-old freshman in the huddle telling you what to do. What's that all about?
I mean, it's pretty much the same, but I feel like I have to step up in certain ways. As of with Bryce, he lets me know like everything he wants me to do. So with him, I pretty much, if he's confused about anything, I help him out, and we just get completions, get yards, and march down the field.
They always say a rookie quarterback's best friend is a great running back and an outstanding offensive line, and you guys have done a really good job helping him acclimate, and his numbers are off the chart. He's got a QBR rating of 130, which is unheard of for a freshman quarterback to have those kind of numbers in the Trinity League. So you guys are doing a good job in your pass pro, carrying out your fakes. I've been watching the tape, and the O-line's giving them really good protection.
Yes, I make sure I let them know, like, I got you. When we go out there, if they blitzing, I'm gonna pick up the blitz.
You're the last line of defense,
yeah,
brother,
you don't,
right?
You don't have to worry about it. We're gonna pick it up every time. Just do your thing.
All right, well, let's talk about your future. I know we've got 3 weeks left. Share with us your recruiting process, and you've settled in on, you've signed a with the Air Force Academy.
Yes. So recently I just completed all my paperwork, and I had my interview. So it's been a long journey with recruiting, talking to different coaches. So really, at the end of the day, it just comes down to who you feel like has your best interest and where you want it at.
Well, it's special to be in your position to commit to your country and to the years after your playing career is over. Colorado Springs is a beautiful place to go to college. I want to congratulate you for your commitment and all the great things you're doing in the classroom and on the football field here at Mater Dei. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to have Marceese Yates, number 5, number 1 in your heart. We'll check you out this week against Servite. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back with Rajon Davis right after this timeout. And we want to welcome you back to the Coach's Corner. Kevin Turner along with 5-star All-American Rajon Davis on his way to the University of Southern California. He's going to be a Trojan. Who would have thought, Rajon, you'd be going to a basketball school?
Man, who knows, honestly. You know, I never seen it coming. But making the decision overall was like a great opportunity for me and my family. So, you know, it's just great being here and just great to have the opportunity.
It's got to be fun watching your Trojans in the Elite Eight.
It's great, you know, just seeing them play and beat the Ducks. You know, I talk to my friends all the time about them because, you know, half my friends went up there to Eugene. So I told them, I was like, I just wait till you guys play you guys in basketball. So, you know, they was pretty hurt about that last night.
So we talked to Marceese Yates a little earlier, and he went through the experience putting those 3 stripes on, and you had an opportunity as a 5-star to opt out. Obviously, your USC commitment's huge. You were looking at LSU for a while, but I know a lot of fans in Southern California are really, really excited. I have a daughter that goes to SC, and they're absolutely ecstatic the number 32 is coming to USC. But before that, let's talk about your commitment to come back and play with your brothers here at Mater Dei. Were you on the fence, or were you all in from day one when this pandemic hit?
From day one, really, I knew I was going to come back. Just talking to my parents about it and just communicating with them, seeing where their head was at. We all talked about it, had like a little dinner, and it was just best for me to come back, you know, finish all the way through and just enjoy my whole senior year and just finish it out the right way.
So you're off to a great start. A couple of forced turnovers, a couple of sacks, some tackles for loss. You know, you're redirecting a lot of offenses. And what's that like to be able to actually pin your ears back and just turn it loose? Honestly,
man, like it's just a once in a lifetime like feeling, because you know when you get to college, it's like a business. Like that's what Coach Arlo tells us, it's a business. Like when you get there, it's nothing like high school football. So putting on the 3 stripes and going out there and making hits with your brothers is the best thing, you could do.
So explain to me the genesis of 32. Obviously, a lot of great running backs. Jim Brown, the Juice wearing 32. I remember one crazy linebacker when I was a kid growing up, Mike Curtis. Rollo's probably laughing off stage here.
I heard of him.
You never heard of him, but this guy was an absolute beast. He played for the Baltimore Colts. But where does 32 come from?
Well, like you said, like a lot of great running backs wore it. So like when I grew up, I used to play running back, and like I idolized like Reggie Bush, and then so my original number was 5, and then when I got here, like Brew had already worn it, so I was like, what else can I go to? So I changed to 32 like when I was like 10, and I stuck with it ever since. So I just like, you know, I might as well bring it back when I get to Mater Dei. So when they made me, like Coach Bose gave me the decision last year if I wanted to keep 46 or 32, it was just, you know, I was like 32. I feel better in it. So I just want to take it back home and just live out my dreams.
So big week this week against Servite. Then we've got Bosco coming up the final week. Little unfinished business. You guys won a national championship your sophomore year, and you've got 2 weeks left in your high school career. Well, 3 weeks left in your high school career, essentially, with Santa Margarita in there as well. Give us kind of a synopsis of life at Mater Dei. What's it been like for you to come to this great school and be part of this unbelievable tradition and a great run?
I would say, you know, just being here and being able to come with your brothers that you've grown up with, like since you were 9. That's like an opportunity that you don't usually get to go when you go to a public school, because you guys don't all live in the same area. So just being able to do all that and then come here and play together, win championships. You know, not everybody can say they won a national championship in high school and then also say they go to college and do the same thing. So just being able to do all that and, you know, do it with your family, like supporting you, and I feel like that's been a great thing, and that's helped me along the way. And then, you know, the school spirit here is unmatched. There's nothing better than this. You know, all the other schools like all boys schools, so like you can't really like have all the fun that you want, because like it's just all the girls like they're like miles away from the school, so it's just like I feel like it's more basketball and stuff like that, and more than like social interaction. So I feel like we get like the best of both worlds here.
Academically, Marceese going to the Air Force Academy, USC, both top 25 academic institutions, up there with the Harvards and the Yales and the Stanfords. So this is a very academic curriculum, college prep, but there's a lot of challenges day to day that come with, and responsibility that come with coming to school and committing to go to Mater Dei.
Yes, sir.
Academically, are you going to be ready to go to SC?
Oh yes, for sure. You know, Mater Dei I feel like prepares you better than anyone. So I feel like we'll be more prepared than like any other school, because just having like the leadership roles that Coach Rollo gives us, and then like how our teachers are able to help us like with everyday work and everything like that. So I feel like Mater Dei will just prepare you the best.
I know it's Servite week because you're wearing gray and black today. I mean, is that in homage to your opponent? Is that a little respect?
Not really. You know, I don't really think about that. I think about what I have to do, and like Friday, I'll think about what I gotta wear. Like I'll probably wear all red that day. Probably wear red shoes and everything. So
nice.
I usually like throughout the week, I just think about what I have to do, and then come game day, I think about Servite.
Awesome. Well, Rajon Davis, our special guest here on the Coach's Corner. Great luck, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And you're a great player, a great representative of this school, and thank you for joining us here on the Coach's Corner.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll wrap it up with Coach Rollinson coming up next. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Coach, those young men, what great representatives of the three stripers, and Rajon Davis, guy's got an ear-to-ear grin, and I just love the way Marceese handles himself. He's a very humble young man, but he is ferocious on the football field. I love the way his double move. He doesn't scrub speed. He's got great vision, always finishes the run really well. You must be very thankful and blessed to have those Rayleigh Brown and Marceese in your backfield.
I like Marceese's dad. He's always saying, feed the beast.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's a two-headed monster that you're going to have to deal with. And obviously, you know, as we continue to work, we will enhance the package. And you know it as well as I do. Money will come up with a way. Right now, they've got the hot hand. CJ had a great game. Josiah had a great game. And now, you know, the weapons and the young kids settling in a little bit, but we can do more to help him settle in by utilizing Marceese and Raleigh more in the game plan. But you know what, Kevin? For the podcast audience, everybody says, why do I coach so long? Why am I still doing it? To stand outside and watch those two young men with the pressure on them, irregardless, you and I, you've done 3 times as many of these as I have, but I've done my share. But to watch their character and their poise and their confidence come through, you know, that's why I coach, you know, because we had a little life lesson here, because both of those boys will be in this same situation on a grander scale. You know, Marceese in one way, with the pressure of the academics and the military, and you know, Raesjon is going to be a feature player in the Trojans' future, and they're going to do many more of these. And I guarantee you, if you and I see them 5 or 4 years after college, they will probably thank us, saying, you know, I'm glad you helped me ease my way in behind the camera.
Well, Raesjon did a better job than I did. I think I double clutched on him twice. So let's talk about the golf tournament, the Rollo Invitational, coming up on April 12th. Am I getting that right?
12th, yes. You got it right.
So I think we're just about nearing the the final count, but I think we're pretty close to selling it out again.
Yep. Only Bruce Rollinson would figure out how to not only have Holy Week like we mentioned earlier and working on Easter Sunday, but have a golf tournament the week of the St. John Bosco game. But I'll tell you what, alumni, I've made my final appeal, and more alumni have stepped in with foursomes. I think we're down to we've got maybe 3 foursomes left. Which is, just, it's kind of like I can feel that valve getting a little bit less pressure on it, because financially, if we don't hit a home run, it's, are we going out of business? No, but it sure make business a lot easier to be able to have our normal success. And other people not only have either sponsored up, but have started to send in some just flat donations to the tournament. Obviously, we still need everybody's help. So if you can see fit to write a check in any amount, we have whole sponsors left, I know. And we can get your company up until April 9th. We can get all of the proper stuff for the tournament on the 12th, but also on our website, on anywhere that we can get the exposure. Kevin has done a great job with it, and I thank the sponsors of this podcast. But there are a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of eyes on the Monarchs, and take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Who knows? It could be a little bit of a profitable thing, but your philanthropy would be muchly appreciated.
That's great. Okay, as we wrap this one up, just give us a quick assessment of your opponent this week, Servite. Troy Thomas looks like he's got this thing turned around, and they're playing well. You
knew Troy would take a couple years to put his culture back into Servite football, and it's back. Kevin, how many years have I told you? When you got a trigger guy, and we've got one in the makings, but they've got one that's already gone through the freshman and sophomore growth, and I'm telling you, this kid's slinging the ball. And T-Mac, the wide receiver, with a host of other kids, they're zone reading it, and the kid's carrying the ball more than he carried it last year. And I'll tell you, their defense just, it's disciplined, it's well coached. They're never out of position, and they're playing at a high energy level. And let's cut the crap. It's a rivalry game,
Sure.
And everybody knows how both schools feel about each other on Saturday night. There's no love lost, and but it's. For the 48 minutes, they'll be clean. They'll be slinging the plastic, and I just wish I could say, everybody get out there. It will be on Prep Zone, now Bailey's Prep Zone, formerly Fox Prep Zone. But you're going to see a great one, and I can guarantee you this: we're going to be ready.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks again for your time, and happy Easter, and keep this thing rolling. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it's we're in mid-season form, you and me, brother.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, rock and roll. Until next time, Kevin Turner for the Coach Bruce Rollinson. So long, and we'll see you next time.